Howdy, howdy, y'all. It is another I Am That episode. Episode chapter 97. The mind and the world are not separate. The mind and the world are not separate. If this is your first ever time understanding this man, just understanding the way of perceiving the world, this might be this shouldn't be new to you. If you've been following along with the chapters and with Nisargadatta Maharaj and all this stuff. What is interesting, I think this is the first time ever there may have been one or two other mentions. I'm trying to remember when they would have been. Maybe one other time there was mention of his school, of where the Nisargadatta Maharaj, where he gets the Maharaj name and this lineage. I think this might be the first mention of it. Like I said, maybe second or so, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time I remember hearing about this. I'm not going to go too much into detail about it especially because it seems like Maharaj, like he even says, the questioner, I know you now for some years, and I meet you regularly. The thought of you is never far from my mind. Does this make me belong to your Sampradaya, Sampradaya? And the way Maharaj responds to this, this is why I'm not going to go too much into detail, because he seems to even not say it's not, it's kind of one of those beside the point type of situations. This is how he says, Maharaj, your belonging is a matter of your own feeling and conviction. After all, it is all verbal and formal. In reality, there is neither guru nor disciple, neither theory nor practice, neither ignorance nor realization. It all depends on what you take yourself to be. Know yourself correctly. There is no substitute for self-knowledge. Then the questioner, what proof will I have that I know myself correctly? Maharaj, you need no proof. The experience is unique and unmistakable. It will dawn on you suddenly, and the obstacles are removed to some extent. It is like a frayed rope snapping. Yours is to work at the strains. The break is bound to happen. It can be delayed, but not prevented. Questioner, I am confused by your denial of causality. Does it mean that none is responsible for the world as it is? Maharaj, the idea of responsibility is in your mind. You think that there must be something or somebody solely responsible for all that happens. There is a contradiction between a multiple universe and a single cause. Either one or the other must be false, or both. As I see it, it is all daydreaming. There is no reality in ideas. The fact is that without you, neither the universe nor its cause would have come into being. Which is like this. So this is what I say. Like, this isn't new, especially this is one of those points he's hammers home. This idea that that there is no difference between you and the world, and you are one with it, and that this whole idea of just pure cause and effect is just a very simplistic, incorrect way of looking at how the world works and how it actually functions. Because, like I said, it's really, like it says, it's all daydreaming. Think of it more as a daydream than like this physical thing. Although he would say this is really, at the end of the day, this is all words and nonsense anyways. What another part that interests me in this, well, like I said, so I find that interesting, that how he doesn't really care. Sorry about that. But yeah, so as we were saying, yeah, actually, reason for an interruption is doggos barking. But anyways, point being, he doesn't really like he talks about the school when they talk about have a bit of back and forth about it, but you can tell like he's not interested in the school labels and stuff. That's why it's not really something that really you hear him bring up. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this is the first time, if not maybe second, maybe third time. I'm pretty sure if most second, but even then, like I said, I think maybe it's like one of those things you've mentioned briefly, if at all, before. So clearly, that's not his main focus. His main focus is okay. Now this is the school's thought. Blah, blah, blah. It's more about it's more about the I am and getting yourself beyond the human. Just being stuck as thinking yourself as the body, as this person. You know, I you know you are more than just this individual person. That's not what you are. You're far more than that. And that's what he's trying to get you to understand. He's trying to get you beyond labels. So, of course, he's not going to focus on this is my label of school and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, that's really why I bring that whole spiel up in the first place. Like I say, another point that's interesting is, once again, we talk about sin. I think we've talked about this a little bit before with him. But like the way the questioner is very direct about it. What is your attitude to sin? How do you look at a sinner, somebody who breaks the law, inner or outer? Do you want him to change, or do you just pity him? Or are you indifferent to him because of his sins? Maharaj, I know no sinner nor no sin nor sinner. Your distinction and valuation do not bind me. Everybody behaves according to his nature. It cannot be helped, nor need it be regretted. Questioner, others suffer. Maharaj, life lives on. In the nature, the process is compulsory. In society, it should be voluntary. There can be no life without sacrifice. A sinner refuses to sacrifice and invites death. This is as it is, and gives no cause for commendation or pity. Questioner, surely you at least feel compassion when you see a man steeped in sin. Maharaj, yes, I feel I am that man, and his sins are my sins. Questioner, right, and what next? Maharaj, by my becoming one with him, he becomes one with me. It is not a conscious process. It happens entirely by itself. None of us can help it. What needs changing shall anyhow. Enough to know oneself as one is, here and now. Intense and methodological investigation into one's mind is yoga. A question, what about the chains of destiny forged by sin? Maharaj, when ignorance, the mother of sin, dissolves destiny, the compulsion to sin again ceases. Which is like one of my most favorite lines in this whole thing. It just sounds, I don't know, I just love it. When ignorance, the mother of sin, dissolves destiny, the compulsion to sin again ceases. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I first read this line, there's something about that that really just set me back. It really did. It set me back. This whole chapter, there's something about it. It's a good one. And I think it's also just because of my life and a lot of things going on. And it's just doing this in the midst of your life when crazy things are going on is always it puts things into perspective for sure. Yeah, and so like I said, lots of very interesting. Maharaj is just trying to be a very almost like I said, he's always the counterweight to whatever the questioner is trying to do. Whatever they're trying to, if they're trying to be too idealist, he gets them back. He becomes like a realist in some way. If they get too pessimistic, he becomes extremely optimistic. You know what I mean? So he's always just counterbalancing what they are. I mean, that's kind of why they're there in the first place. And so it just becomes interesting. Like, for example, here, the questioner, all the Buddhas and Rishis have not succeeded in changing the world. Maharaj, the world does not yield to changing. By its very nature, it is painful and transient. See it as it is and divest yourself of all desire and fear. When the world does not hold and bind you, it becomes an abode of joy and beauty. You can be happy in the world only when you are free of it. Questioner, what is right and what is wrong? Maharaj, generally what causes suffering is wrong and what removes it is right. The body and the mind are limited and therefore vulnerable. They need protection, which gives rise to fear. As long as you identify yourself with them, you are bound to suffer. Realize your independence and remain happy. I tell you this. This is the secret of happiness. To believe that you depend on things and people for happiness is due to ignorance of your true nature. To know that you need nothing to be happy except self-knowledge is wisdom. And yeah, like I said, this is a very good chapter. I mean, it goes, most of it, like I said, other than probably the talk at the beginning about this, like the nine masters and his whole school of thought and stuff. Other than that, I would say most of this is pretty similar to how he's, pretty similar spiel as before. But it's just a very good. Once again, that means it's very good because every single chapter has been very good. Like I said, I don't think there's been a single bad chapter in this book. I don't think there's been a single one. I'm like, this isn't for me. You know what I mean? I don't think there has been a single one of these chapters. And there's definitely, it's just, it's like I said, it's a timeless classic. This book is a classic. It's a modern classic. I think that's one of the things it says on here. Yeah, like right here on the title. Yeah, modern classic. It's true because, like I said, so far not a single one of these chapters have been bad. And so, unless one of these last chapters I end up reviewing ends up being horrible, I think it's safe to say that there's not a single bad chapter in this book. Like I said, maybe 98 through 101. Maybe one of those will be really awful, and I'll be like, okay, that was a stinker. But like I said, so far, classic, classic, classic. It's just incredible. Oh, there is one bit back and forth I will end this on. I'll end this on that ending part, like a little bit of a back and forth between them. So, Maharaj, do you realize that as long as you have a self to defend, you must be violent? Questioner, I do. To be truly human, I must be selfless. As long as I am selfish, I am subhuman, a humanoid only. Maharaj, so we are all subhuman and only a few are human. Few or many, it is again clarity and charity that make us human. The subhuman, the humanoids, are dominated by tamas and rajas, and the humans are by sattva. Clarity and charity is sava, SALIVA, as it affects mind and action. But the real is beyond sattva. Sattva? Like all these Hindu. I'm sorry, these Hindu terms. Like I said, I'm trying to learn them. It's SATTVA. Since I have known you, you seem to be always after helping the world. How much did you help? Questioner. Not a bit. Neither has the world changed nor have I. But the world suffers and I suffer along with it. To struggle against suffering is a natural reaction. And what is civilization and culture, philosophy and religion, but revolt against suffering. Evil and the ending of evil. Is it not your own main preoccupation? You may call it ignorance. It comes to the same. Maharaj. Well, words do not matter, nor does it matter in what shape you are just now. Names and shapes change incessantly. Know yourself to be the changeless witness of the changeful mind. That is enough. Know yourself to be the changeless witness of the changeful mind. I think that's probably like a good way of just, Like I said, he's very good about like just all throughout like he can just find a singular sentence sometimes like that can just describe everything about this. And so I think on that note, and on the note of the crazy dogs barking, peace be upon y'all, and I hope you all have a good one. Namaste, y'all. Namaste.